Hey everybody, I'd like to take a few minutes of your time to share with you some of the highlights of one of my recent journeys down to our region. First of all, we stopped in Recife, Brazil, where I met up with Tom and Laura Foder, where they have ministered for over 40 years. During the time there, I had the privilege of speaking at a conference on missions. At this conference, the call went forth to call people to the mission field, specifically to nations where access to Jesus is very restricted. And we found that people were accepting that call, responding to the call to go. And while there, we also heard of those who have already gone and have come back for a time of sharing. And they were sharing with us how hundreds of people in these restricted access nations are coming to Jesus Christ. We will also spend some time in João Pessoa, Brazil, where we met up with the Monteros and saw the great things that they're doing in developing a biblical worldview curriculum for young people and young adults, both at high school level and university level. It was interesting to note that while there in the village of Villa Feliz, a church plant to the children, the youth, the adults of this slum. And it's marvelous to see people coming to Jesus Christ on a regular basis and being baptized in water. Next, we traveled to Guatemala, where I met up with Hector and Ruth Aragon, as well as Murray Cornelius. We attended the graduation ceremonies for the Cornelius Training Center, and a marvelous story of people's lives being transformed and people being brought out of the cycle of poverty through your help and your ministry of sponsoring kids through Child Care Plus, sponsoring students who attend the Cornelius Training Center as well. These kids are able to be trained in a vocational skill that allows them to escape the cycle of poverty and bring their families out of that cycle. Then we stopped in the country of Honduras, specifically the capital city of Tegucigalpa, where we met up with our global worker team and as well as a national team. We had the privilege of going into a couple of schools to see what God is doing there and see how kids are being transformed. And one of the great privileges I had was to distribute Bibles to some of the younger grades where they were wanting them. They wanted us to sign their Bibles and wanted us to pray for them and seek God for them and the needs that they have. It was a tremendously moving opportunity. So far we're in several different schools, but we're wanting to increase the number of schools we're into by 10 this next year. And I believe that the team that is there currently is going to actually make that happen. The community that these kids live in are notoriously dangerous slums. In these slums, they do not have access to clean water or sufficient food. We can provide them with that, and we are. It's making a tremendous difference. Colleen and I want to thank you for your prayer, your care, and your support. God bless.